351 here, and it's time to celebrate 500 plus subscribers. Lots of shout outs and a Q&A is in store. So, let's not waste any time, and let's start off with the shout outs. First off, I would like to shout out Mr. Shelton TV Media and House of Kaiju. Okay, Mr. Shelton, I've known him on Facebook for a long time, and he and I have been in correspondence since I started the channel here on YouTube, and he's a really cool dude, always giving me tips and pointers. I'm always giving him pointers and, being friends, and he's a cool dude, so give him a shout out. Next up, I would like to shout out Mr. Leslie Chambers and Sonic Kaiju for allowing me to be a part of the group and allowing me to share my videos and also give me tips and pointers for my videos as well, what to get, what not to get, stuff like that, okay? After that, I would like to shout out the X Plus Facebook Collectors Group. For whenever I get a new figure and I do an unboxing, they allow me to share that on their page as well as allowing me to look at all their wonderful content and enjoy all their stuff as well. So, yes. Okay. Next up, Goji Fan 1998. I met this person a couple of years ago on YouTube, and then we met up at G-Fest. Nice kid, making a lot of videos lately, and just giving a shout out. You know, he's making some good work, so yeah, there's that. Next up, Godzilla and Friends channel. You got a new intro from Marty Mations, which is the next shout out. We'll get to that next. Yeah, he's doing a bunch of unboxings and reviews on things as well. Plus, he has a lot of awesome fan art as well as modified art of Godzilla. So go ahead and go over and give him a watch. Next up is Marty Mations, who made my intro of Shin Godzilla, and I love it. It's awesome. I believe he is one of the biggest helps for my channel doing well, and keeping eyes on it with that intro. So there's that. I'd also like to just shout out Mr. Venegas Toys and Games and Jimmy Lee and The Sanctuary on Facebook as well. All wonderful people, and they allow me to share my videos on another platform as well, so I can reach out a little further, and yeah, there's that. Lastly, all of the new subscribers that have come along and helped me get over 500 subs. One of them specifically, No Budget Nerd. Okay, awesome guy. I like his work. I'm being friends with him on Facebook as well, so giving a shout out to that. And I believe I have one more that I didn't get a chance to write down. Yes, Sethosaurus Rex. Okay, a very energetic YouTuber, going over different videos of his, and he's collecting some vintage stuff that's really fun to have, and posters and figures. So go ahead and go over, give him a subscribe as well, give him a watch. Sethosaurus Rex. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the shoutouts section. Now we are going to get to the Q&A section. Now this is going to be a minute, so I got to bring these up. So hang on just one sec. Okay, so from Tyrant Lizard King on Twitter, favorite X Plus in your collection? I don't know. I guess it has to be a tie between the Godzilla 91 Hokkaido landing or the gigantic Shin Godzilla. Those are two big ones on my list. So. Alright, next up we have GMK Goji _ 2001. What was the first Godzilla movie you saw? Godzilla 1985. I remember being in the carriage in the car when my parents bought it. some of my first memories. I remember holding the VHS copy in my hand and, yeah, going home and watching it. Yeah, good times. All right, next up we have Dr_Mafuni on Twitter. Would you ever want X Plus or Bandai to try and take on some more obscure kaiju like Yongari, Pulgasari, or... Yes. The answer is yes, definitely. Especially creatures like Gorgo, Zarkor, Yongari as well. Yes, I definitely would love to see those. So, that is it for Twitter. Next up, we're going to go into Instagram. A couple of questions on Instagram. Send a message. Okay, from John Rich Creek. Which X Plus from the Showa line would you start off with? I started off with the 1954 because the 30 centimeter diamond reissue, because that was all that was available for me. But then again, if I had a choice, that's probably where I would have started off anyway as well. Pretty much, it's whatever your favorite film was from that series. So yeah, pretty much just whatever really calls to you. That's the way it is with a lot of the collecting. There you go. Mm-hmm. That is it apparently for Instagram. I guess some of these questions got deleted, unfortunately, but that's alright. Next up, we are going to go into Facebook. These were the questions that get really silly. Fun, mind you, but silly. From Jimmy Lee, Q&A. God forbid, but if you had to save just one of your figures in the event of a fire or something, which one would it be? I'll tell you what. I would stay and I would fist fight the fire and put it out by punching it to death to save my home and my figures. Yeah. That's my final answer, and I probably mess up my hands. I don't care. I worked a long time for these figures. I work really hard in life for what I have, the minuscule things that I do have in life, but I worked very hard for it. And I'm not going to let fire take it away. I would literally get in a fist fight over it with even if it was fire. Hurt. I would get in a fist fight. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, actually. But if I absolutely had to save one figure, I'd have to say the gigantic Shin Godzilla, because that was the most expensive figure I've purchased in my entire life. It is the biggest figure that I own at this point. But the time it would take me to just save the Shin Godzilla, I might as well just grab the whole stand and I would drag it outside with me. So, yeah, I'd have a better chance of saving more figures that way. But if I had to save one, the gigantic Shin Godzilla. Okay. But, yeah. Alright, so, moving on. Next up, from Marty Martinez. Who's better, Tablock or Martymations? I like them both. Yeah, Tablock was his original name for his YouTube channel, and he changed it to Martymations. I like both names. Both, I think, yeah, I'd go with both, either or. You know, you're good to go on either or, in my opinion. Alright, next one from Marty Martinez. What is your favorite NECA figure and why? My favorite NECA figure, Godzilla-wise, I'd have to say the 12-inch Roaring one. That's a fun figure, and mine actually still works to this day, and it looks really good. NECA otherwise, the Celtic Predator from the film Alien vs. Predator. After that, I don't really have any other NECA except for just Godzilla figures, and I already covered that. I don't want to, bar it down too much. Next up, Liam Foley asks, favorite Godzilla film, least Godzilla film. Favorite Godzilla film is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991. Fun movie. I just love that movie. I love the storyline. Just love all the stuff that goes on with that film. Okay, it's not a perfect film. I understand that, but my preference, I can watch Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah anytime. Least favorite Godzilla movie. Oh boy. In the Showa series, I'd have to say Godzilla's Revenge. I know. In the Heisei series, I'd have to say Godzilla vs. Mothra. I just don't like that movie. It's a rehash, retread, and I don't understand why it was made. And for the Millennium series, I want to say Godzilla vs. Megagearus, but again, I watched that the other day ago, and I found it far more enjoyable than the last time I watched it. Godzilla's Revenge and Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1992 for at least. All right. Cody Bratcht asks, what's your favorite incarnation of King Ghidorah? Oh. Either the actually, they're all really good. The only one that I don't like really is Kaiser Ghidorah. The rest of them are really good. But if I had to pick a favorite, Show is really good. Probably Grand King Ghidorah from Mothra 3. I thought that was awesome. Okay, Cody asks again, what are some other some of your interests outside of Godzilla and Kaiju stuff? Okay. I like the Predator franchise. Awesome films, except for the last one. I don't know what they were thinking with the last one. Alien franchise is also really good. I love Mortal Kombat. Those are very fun games. Gaming. I used to write a lot. I know it was mainly Godzilla stories I wrote, but I also wrote this action-adventure kind of Devil May Cry-ish story as well. But I just lost interest in it. But, yeah. Now, this last thing I was really big on. I still kind of am big on. These are not toys, mind you. Okay? These are very real, and they could do real damage. Possibly kill. Not possibly, they would. You will see me, working around with these things that, I first started working with them in 2003. And I'm just making a video about my performance-ish with them as of right now, 2019. Yes, it took a long time to, hone a craft and make sure that it's done safely so, limbs aren't lost. So, here's another thing that I'm really into. This here is the Cold Steel O-Katana. The blade is long enough to pretty much simulate a broadsword from Europeans. Heavy enough for that, however, with enough practice, you can swing this puppy around like it's nothing. Got this a couple of years ago. Razor sharp. And very deadly. Now this sword I've dubbed the Feather. Why do I call it a feather? Because it is light as a feather. Much easier to swing, much easier to move around, maneuver. You can see, it's a nice polished sheen to it, razor sharp, and very deadly. Yeah, I love swords. Those two are my deadliest swords that I own. I do own a bunch more. They're mainly stainless steel look-at swords, so those won't really do anything. But yeah, that O-Katana from Cold Steel is practically indestructible, and it is heavy like a broadsword. However, it's a little more balanced. And then there's the feather. You know, it's just standard katana. However, it feels like there's no weight to it at all. So, yeah. Once again, those are not toys. Don't watch this video and, ooh, I can do that. No, I took a long time learning how to, teaching myself the different weights and the different, you know, things you would need to actually have to use those properly. So, yeah. They're great if you know how to use them properly. If you don't know how to use them, please don't try that at home. Very lame, very goofy to say it, but yeah, it's the truth. So, there's that. Oh God, please, I don't want to butcher your name. Al Stoich. Well, he's got Mungo from that one movie, and it's really cool. You can take one character from MK Universe, supersize, and take on Legendary Godzilla. Who would you take? I have two picks for this. Pick number one would be Motaro from Mortal Kombat 3, because it looks mostly like mine. Actually, I have three picks. Motaro is number one. Number two is the Golem Oni monster, Moloch from Deadly Alliance, I think it was. That thing was just so annoying. I'd love to see Godzilla destroy it. But most of all, number three, who should have been number one now that I think about this, is the Dragon King Onaga. I would think that all of those fights would be good. The rest of them, everyone's too humanoid. It wouldn't really make sense. So, yeah. Leslie P. Chambers, I'm going to save yours for the end. What is the movie that got you into Godzilla by Mr. Albino Venegas, Mr. Venegas Toys and Games? What was the movie that got you into Godzilla, and what figure would you like to see that haven't been made by X+? Okay, the film that got me into Godzilla was Godzilla 1985. First film that I watched of Godzilla, and yeah. And there's that. And what figure would you like to see that haven't been made by X+? That is simple. We need more King Kong stuff. Alright, I am so over hearing about this lawsuit nonsense. Who has the rights to this and who has the rights to that? And it's crap. Alright, stop it. These are figures that everyone can make money on and pay off these, you know, lawyers and shut them up. Okay, seriously. I would love to see King Kong from the 1930s as an X+. I would love to see the 62 King Kong. I would love to see the, oh God, please don't kill me, the 67 Kong from King Kong Escapes. It's not 67, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with the date on that movie. All I remember is the movie. It was awesome. I actually met Linda Jo Miller, wonderful lady. I can't remember the year that movie came out. 66 or 67. I think it was the same year as Son of Godzilla. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. I would love to see the 76 Kong. I would love to see the, well, not that one. The 2005 Kong. Okay. We got the Star Ace Kong from Skull Island, so we don't really need that one. But I would love to see a 2020 Kong when he goes up against Godzilla. 2020, come on, let's make it 2020, let that be the year that this King Kong lawsuit nonsense is finally done. Get it over with so we can have proper figures done for King Kong. Next off, I would love to see Gorgo. I would love to see Zarkor the Invader. And let me pick one more just to... I would like to see a Grid Man. Tell me if they've made a Grid Man from X Plus and put it in the comments. But yeah, those are mainly what I would say. Okay. Last and definitely not least, Mr. Leslie Chambers with a huge question. Since you are a wrestling buff, put together a WrestleMania-style 8-match card featuring your favorite kaiju battles from the movies. It doesn't have to be just Godzilla movies. Include Gamera, Ultraman, Pacific Rim, etc. Pick 8 of your favorite kaiju battles as matches from opening match all the way up to the main event of your favorite kaiju battle. So, match number 1 to open up the show would be on just the matches. Gypsy Danger versus Otachi from the film Pacific Rim. Awesome fight, and I thought it was filmed the best out of that film. Next up, we have Gamera versus Gyaos. Pretty much any. Either it's the original Showa, which was a really good fight, or whether it's from Gamera Guard in the Universe, where he fights Super Gyaos. Either match is good. Okay. Next up, we would have to be Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1974. I'm a huge fan of Terra Mechagodzilla, Godzilla 1993, and the Kyu films, but I think the fight with Mechagodzilla 1974 was a better fight sequence, so yeah. Go with that. Next up, we have King Kong versus the Skullcrawler Adult. Awesome fight sequence, and it shows off this Kong and what to expect going into a fight with the new Godzilla in the legendary line. Okay. Next up, we have Earth versus King Ghidorah from Destroy All Monsters. It has all the monsters from Ogasawara Island and Monsterland, and they fight King Ghidorah. It's awesome. Okay, now this isn't exactly 8. I had to add a couple, so we're going to add a few more. The War of the Gargantuas, Gyra versus Sanda. And, just 2 monsters just fighting each other in a city or in the woods, around a mountain. It was an awesome film, awesome fight sequences as well. Next up, we have the prequel to that. We have Frankenstein versus Baragon. That movie was very weird, but very good as well. Very violent, too. Very gory. But the fight sequence they had with Frankenstein and Baragon was awesome. And if you really want to go for an extra added bonus, you can add Odaka, the giant octopus, at the end of it as well. However, that's not canon anymore, apparently. So, yeah. Next up, we have Burning Godzilla vs. Destroya from the film Godzilla vs. Destroya. A beautiful moment, a beautiful fight, and just destruction all around, down to Godzilla's meltdown, to the rebirth of Godzilla through Junior's body. Awesome stuff. Next up, we have a weird one. We have, from the film Rampage, George versus Lizzie versus Ralph. That was a fun little movie, and a fun little kaiju fight. And for the main event, you can't go wrong with this, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from the film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991. Love that film. I love the fight sequence that they had, whether it was King Ghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah. So, yeah. And that would be that card for that. And that there is the Q&A. No other questions really to go over. Hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you very much for getting me over 500 subs. I'm very appreciative of that. I would someday like to get to 1,000 subs, but we'll take some baby steps to get there. As far as future content. There's going to be future gameplay from the new Mortal Kombat 11. That'll be coming out very soon. Gigantic Godzilla 1989 is on its way at the end of March, which it is. What's it called? It is March 3rd at the time of this recording, so yeah. Other than that, you all take it easy. I'll see you around when I can see you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and catch y'all with the next video. Take it easy.